voice to a girl, doesn't care about whether or not I'm call her by her name.
Do you like Dungeons and Dragons? Well, we're Dragon Deez Dice, a comedy D&D 5e actual play show, where a group of inexperienced heroes embark on a vast and deep storyline within a homebrew world brimming with magic and mischief. Sure to have you rolling.
With laughter.
Laughter.
Peter.
Peter, spit on that thing.
You didn't find that.
Stop it! Guys, you guys can't laugh when Peanut makes a Hawk Tuah joke and not when I make a Hawk Tuah
I
joke.
didn't.
You are laughing.
Well, I
right
put all my
now.
money into Hawk Tuah
I'm
coin.
laughing now.
Oh, didn't it already like drop by a million?
What?
It dropped a lot.
Yeah.
Jesus
It's
Christ, no.
furious
Ridiculous.
typing.
Upon leaving the capital city, you received an SOS message from your ally Gon, only to find him and some children captured by goblins. Well, a fight ensued. You luckily knew these goblins and convinced them to help you. The goblins' goal was to make an independent goblin nation. Thinking to do so, they needed their own fighting pit. Since your group's overall goal is to destroy all the nation's fight pits, you told them they needed to take down their competition. The goblins now gather their forces and lie in wait while a small group of them head to a portal to the Feywild you told them about, thinking it could be a method of cross-country transportation. I'm sure the goblins will figure out how to use this. Gon informed you.
What?
Wait, huh?
I love the sessions when Lane comes back.
Gon informed you all is quiet in Haver Hills for the children to return home, and once he helps the children that ran away get to Petterport, he'll travel himself to meet you all in Lupinpine, his task there being to graffiti the city and stir up rebellion before you all arrive. You also learn
he
his full
lives.
name, Gonar NPC.
He's gonna die.
You now have a few days of travel ahead. You stopped for the night and camped out in sight of a shadowy ghost town, riding past that for your first real stop north at a small church village called Graytown. We'll pick up in the morning. Mherren driving your carriage. You had camped out for the night previous. Despite your carriage now being tricked out by druids to travel a bit faster, there's still another night ahead until you reach Graytown itself. So far, to kill time, Balthazar read a vintage magazine profiling the king, unable to parse much juicy information aside from a tidbit about a vacation cabin he had in the Obelisk Mountains. So Balthazar keeps his information to himself until he can figure out the precise location. So for this day of travel, what are you all doing in the back of this carriage?
Pebble overall just seems kind of peeved with Balthazar still, but that's kind of it. She's just sort of involved with her own thoughts.
I will approach the magic man with the speaking doll. I was hoping you would be able to fix my toy here. You see, when I pull the string, there's an old lady who is trapped inside, and I'm hoping that you could remove the old lady and maybe put more of me into the toy.
Oh, okay.
This is the speaking doll, which I think Shello examined it before and couldn't figure out if there was a way to remove the things, the phrases already in it.
Yeah, like a factory reset.
Yeah.
If it's got any, if it's got like a tag on it to give instructions on how to reset it, or
There's no tag or anything that you can see on it.
Shello, when you bought this off that lovely old lady, did she happen to give you any instructions or?
All the old lady seemed to do was pull the string and say, I how does this thing work? And then say, oh, there we go. And then I want to pull the string. And hopefully, I guess I should roll like a d4 to see which voice line it plays.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a d4.
And it plays back, hello, it's me, Shello, the amazing juggling ant boy. It did not say that when the old lady had it, you see.
Oh, I mean, it looks like it's working now.
Yes, for the moment, but there are still 3 old ladies, it would seem, inside of here, and only 1 ant boy.
Maybe pull the string, give it another go, and say what you wanted to say.
Okay.
I really hope it's the same line that's just Shello again. So Shello just seems crazy.
I like to pull the string. I want to record another thing onto it, actually. How are you? I am doing well, thank you. And then I guess I pull the string after that.
Yeah, go roll a d5 now.
Okay.
I want it to be the same exact one as before.
I really hope it is.
and from the doll comes a small ant's voice. Hello, it's me, Shello, the amazing juggling ant boy.
Damn it.
You see, it does seem to be broken.
I'm going to pull the string back to record to see if it will record what I say.
Okay, what do you say to it?
Hey, you, over here. And then I pull the string to then see if it recorded.
All right, roll a d6.
6. Hey, you, over here. It seems to be working fine.
But now you see the conundrum is there are now 3 old ladies, 2 ant boys, and a magical man now trapped in this doll.
It's quite the conundrum.
And that's all 6 of the phrases.
Pebble sort of just like glancing up from like what she's doing. It's like, what the fuck?
6 phrases are done.
In the meantime, if Shello's not involved in anything else, he'll be interrogating the doll.
Now you listen here.
You release the old woman.
That's enough out of you.
Yeah, roll a d6.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it just says,
The
hello,
dice-
it's
the
me,
dice heard me.
Shello, the amazing juggling ant boy. Is the crow here?
Perched on Balthazar's shoulder, just looking at the back of the caravan as you go.
I'm gonna poke him.
What was that for?
Excuse me.
You want to go, buddy? He's putting up his wings like fists at you.
We are currently on our way. I'm not, I don't think we are in need of going anywhere at the moment. I was wondering if in your with your many eyes, you may have seen a way to get rid of the voices of the old lady from my doll.
I didn't hear no old lady in that doll.
When it speaks, it sounds like an old lady.
Well, if only I had extra ears.
Are you the same owl as before?
Ow. Don't compare me to an owl. I'm a raven.
Well, you are quite small, and I am
No.
but an ant boy.
Crows are small. I'm a raven. You're kind of small. So I guess everything's big to you.
The man of the shoulder for which you are perched, I think he is quite large.
His brain sure isn't.
Pebble sort of scoffs and is like, Balthazar is not large.
Sorry, what was your name again?
I am the juggling ant boy, Shello. And you are?
I'm Nordry.
Yes. Normand.
Nordry.
Normand.
I like that name a lot more. Wait, your name's Normand, you said?
Can we go back to this silent treatment thing? Yeah. Crosses his feathers and kind of slumps on Balthazar's shoulder. I'm gonna get mashed up with these bozos. And shaking his beak.
Now, be quiet now, Normand. I'm trying to read.
Can we? How far out can we see out the back?
The caravan is now instead of having the tarp, it's like enclosed in wood now, more like a larger carriage, except the back is still this sort of tarp kind of curtains that aren't like closed or anything. They're kind of flowing in the wind, so you kind of like look through that, and you see a lot of grassland. Not much like civilization as you drive. You'll occasionally see like a farmstead, like a river, a bit of a cropping of trees and stuff. Not much of really sights out here. There's pretty plain landscapes, which is a nice change of pace maybe from being in the city for so long.
Can we still see the capital?
You
I don't know
can
if there's like walls around
very,
it.
very faintly see land floating in the sky.
Oh shit! Yeah.
You can make out some like glistening light in that direction, but as you get closer to Graytown, the sky is getting a bit like darker and overcast, and eventually it becomes to not really be in view as you get to a sort of wetland area. There's some rivers to cross. Mherren kind of navigates to some like bridges and such, and it starts to get like a light rainfall, and it's starting to get a bit nighttime out.
Pebble, looking at the landscape, sort of looks like she has a piece of paper and like she's just sort of doodling. It doesn't look good, but she's just sort of trying to occupy herself and is drawing stuff that she sees out the window or out the tarp.
At night, it's a bit like creepier because you're in like kind of a swampland, a bit more possibly unsafe at night.
Is there any like cover of like trees or anything in the area?
Make a survival check.
6.
You're not seeing enough trees to really give you like cover for the night. There's some trees in like swamp they wouldn't be able to like really set up camp under. There's a few creeks and streams passing through.
Would have been good for me to learn that spell we were discussing, Peanut. The
Oh, the one that makes tiny hut that makes like thing you go inside to camp out for the night.
Yeah, it's great.
That's crazy. That's like the 18th time you said that about a spell.
Balthazar only
Yeah,
chooses
that's
the
like-
that
damage
you've
dealing spell.
discussed getting to.
Yeah.
Balthazar sees damage roll and he's like, I'll take that.
Awful.
Damage.
Waiter,
Um,
more damage, please.
Yeah. I have a lot of damage.
The
I should
worst
choose
part
some
is about
damage.
that you don't really do that much damage outside of fireball. Like you don't use any fucking spells.
No.
Clocked his
Now
ass.
I have 2 4th level spell slots, and I have a lot of new spells.
Okay.
No, we
Um,
wouldn't. It wouldn't be best to take it off the road if it's
Is there
swampland.
any, like non-marshy, so like not super soft mud area that I can tell?
Yeah, make a survival check.
I'm gonna scream. 12.
You can tell that right now you're in the worst of the swamp area. If you make a little bit of a detour going away from where like a lot of the rivers like connect over here, you might be able to find something, but that would require you going like off-road a bit.
I think that's not a terrible risk. Mherren will take the carriage off-road towards or away from the really soft mud.
So you're able to find some croppings of trees and stuff where you have a little bit more cover from the rainfall. Still some like softer ground, not totally comfortable.
I think those who can fit, like everyone who can fit in the carriage sleeps there, and whoever cannot can.
Well, Shello
So-
can sit crisscross applesauce in the swamp.
I would say that for the caravan, Balthazar and Pebble can maybe fit inside, but I think Mherren would be a very tight squeeze in there.
Well, who has dry wood in their inventory?
I have like 2 torches, I think.
I have 8 pages of dry wood.
To
I have a
keep the
pillow
fire
filled
going.
with hay.
I
I
guess
could sacrifice
have
my
7
beloved pillow.
torches.
Stack them together.
So I guess I could just toss them in a pile because I also have a tinderbox.
I'd recommend a small fire if it's mainly just for you and
I'm
I.
not even-
While we're all sitting around, probably eating our rations. So, reading into that literature I ended up finding in that store, there wasn't too much information on the king there, but there was something that kind of got my eye. It talked about him having a cabin they'd use whenever he took moments of leave up in the Obelisk Mountains. It doesn't sort of state where it is, but it could possibly lead to something. To find out anything that we can about him, ask around, see if anyone knows about where it might be.
Heading to the Obelisk Mountains is probably a good idea.
We're already heading up towards that direction, so
I have questions out of character. Just
Go ahead.
logical pitfalls, perhaps, in what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to go to the Obelisk Mountains unless we are already going through Mordome Gate.
It mostly just depends. If we're there, we can sort of, especially if we need to go past Mordome Gate, we can have a look. Yeah, so it just sort of depends where it is. Obviously, we don't want to get too close to the academy.
we also had that teacher that we met who replaced me. That one's a tricky one. Obviously, we should probably try to avoid attention of the academy.
You've been pretty keen on making alliances with people trying to kill us recently. I mean, why not give it a try, you know?
Despite my choices, I'm not expecting you guys to agree with going to the academy, considering how powerful they are. It may be something I may be able to relay a message, get them to meet somewhere away from the academy. I'm not too sure.
You guys can go ahead and I'll take a long rest then.
I'm rummaging through my things, looking at all my bits and bobs, so to speak. Amidst the array of apple juice soaked kind of sticky mess, I find the little frog wizard hat, and I want to kind of sneak over into the cabin and try and put it on top of Marmaduke, the crow.
Marmaduke?
I was like,
That's his
Marmaduke.
name.
I was like, who the fuck is Marmaduke?
That's his
so
name.
far away from Nordry, I don't know how you made that.
I can't. I couldn't
It's 'cause
remember
it's
his
the
name.
talking animal?
Yeah.
Nordry doesn't sleep. But he is perched on like the bench of the inside of the caravan with all the eyes closed. You doing this stealthily at all, or?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to wake anyone.
Okay, make a stealth check. You can go ahead and use advantage.
Cool. 20.
He doesn't look like his eyes are opening or anything. He's just kind of a stiff, upright.
And I'll sneak back away and sit once again crisscross applesauce in the damp grass.
Okay, make a perception check.
15.
Animals seem to scurry around. See like a squirrel come also take cover from the rain over by these trees. It's actually quite peaceful hearing the rain sounds against the roof and such. You don't notice anything strange during the night. You all wake up for the morning. Still overcast as the sun comes up. There's periods where it stops raining and it's like on and off again. And you guys can get your stuff packed back up and get back on the road. Shello, as you go back in and as Nordry opens his eyes, notices that this hat is on his head, poofs into a bunch of black feathers, and then reappears on the other side of the bench, the hat falling to the ground.
Sorry, or Balthazar, I think someone snuck in and set a trap in the night.
What do you mean?
Balthazar, get up! You need your coffee for the morning? We're in trouble.
Balthazar's gonna look at Nordry.
And what trap do you think that would be, Nordry?
Looks like a magic hat to me. You tell me.
Pebble is groggily waking up because she definitely woke up after this dumbass bird, and she's sort of like, Normand, why would someone set a trap when we're all asleep and they could just kill us?
Sorry, did someone say something?
Excuse you?
What was that noise?
I think it's just a hat.
I don't know. Someone might have been trying to capture me with it.
I wish they
Oh.
would.
I get the joke.
He poofs back onto Balthazar's shoulder. Keep a lookout, Balthazar. Seems like someone here doesn't like me. Trying to play tricks.
I think you'll be fine.
All I'm saying, Balthazar, is there might be someone in this group a bit capricious.
Pebble has no clue what that word means.
I better not wake up with all my feathers shaved.
You know what? Sounds like a great idea.
This guy pisses me off.
I don't like him.
I like him.
He's a bird, straight up.
I love birds. I love ravens. I love ravens.
Don't worry,
and
he's just discount Iago.
and he's insufferable.
He's awesome.
You just said that you hated
him.
Sit beside the little wizard hat as to not arouse suspicion, and then maybe sneakily put it back in my backpack.
Okay, make it a sleight of hand.
14.
Yeah, one of those eyes seems to look at you for a moment, then you freeze up, get a little bit scared that you notice, and it looks like he's just looking past you and doesn't seem to notice and keeps looking around. Mherren, getting back on the road, since you went away from the road, actually, can you go ahead and roll a d20 with your proficiency added?
Uh-oh.
You try to get back on track.
There's gonna be a dragon at the dock again.
Wait, oh, not 20. It doesn't matter.
You perfectly get back to the road, and actually you notice that you're a bit further than you expected. It seems your detour somehow got like a shortcut past some of the rivers. The trees are getting more frequent, getting out of the sort of swampy area. Though it's overcast, you start to see some large black rocky formations way in the distance. You note as possibly being the Obelisk Mountains. You make your destination a little bit sooner than you thought. By your estimations, you thought you'd get here around nighttime, but it seems you arrived in Graytown more in the early afternoon. It's a very small town. As you get closer, you notice that a lot of the trees become stumps. You notice some sort of lumber facilities around. There's a watchtower you can see in the distance, but doesn't seem like, to your estimations, a ton of like security presence or anything like that. Very quaint town from the looks of things. And you notice that at the end of the town, other end to where you're approaching, there's a larger hill. Looks like it has a large cathedral type building on it. Not like super crazy like anything in the capital, but it looks like a larger church building. There's still a few rivers you're like passing by, like bridges and such, but it's not like full-on swampland or anything. It's still some slight rain, but not as like, everything's not like wet and muddy anymore. There's more like solid ground. You start to get to some more pavements and like cobble footing and such as you get more into the town.
New town map.
We get map.
Ooh.
As you can see, there's not a whole lot of buildings. Seems like it's very modest. A few different farms and lumber mills and such. You spot the large church on the other side, on the hill and graveyard behind it. You see what looks like an inn, some residential buildings. Store, it looks like a general store. It's labeled traveler store. There's this sort of restaurant, fast casual type with a outside seating area with some like umbrellas and such that like a couple people are eating food at. You notice there's a few other like caravans of travelers, and you pick up that this is most likely a town that a lot of people stop by in on their way to like other places, kind of the entrance into the forest here to the north. So they seem to center their town around like pit stops, basically. You see that the inn is called the Pass-Through Inn. As you're driving through, there's someone outside their house trimming some bushes. It kind of waves to you as you go by. You take a lap like around the well, looking at all the buildings. there's not like a really busy town square with like a market or anything like that. The most people in this town you see are around the inn. It seems like there's a lot of caravans over there, people getting stay for the night. You notice that a lot of the people that live here, you notice that them in like their houses and stuff. Not really, you don't really see a lot of people walking through the streets or anything like that. And there is that one small tower for security at the sort of town entrance. This seems like there's a few guards around it. You don't see like a heavy guard presence in this town, however.
Yeah. Seems
It's
just like a
not-
small like farming town.
It's not like royal guards either, is it?
Nah, it just seemed like local. They seem like they
Security,
don't get into a
basically.
lot of
How it got
commotion.
described to us was a small church town anyway.
Yeah.
They're you notice them looking out in the woods, kind of keeping an eye on things.
Mm-hmm.
Not really focusing their attention on the town itself, more outside the town.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the other stores seem to be for people who live in the town. Like you see a butcher.
Mhm.
Yeah, mostly just farmland. There's the inn, church.
Yeah.
Mherren, what are we doing here?
Well, it was mostly a path towards Lupin Pine, just to stop on the way, but I don't think it hurts to check out what they have, just in case. I actually met the leader of this town back at the ball. I guess gave me the idea that this is a decent place to lay low for a little bit, especially
Mhm.
after the storm we went through. Pebble could check out the church.
I wouldn't mind it, yeah. Based on the way the church looks just from the outside, am I able to tell, like, what god they worship there?
Not from this distance. It's not super close to the town. Like you kind of have to go up a path that leads up the hill to the church. There's no iconography you can really get from the outside of it, but it does look like there's a sign at the foot of the hill for it.
Were we planning on spending the night? Should we book a room as well?
I assume so. I mean, it's already afternoon. If we leave now, we'll just have to stop to camp in a couple hours.
Yeah, they seem pretty busy. Like there's a little bit of a line of people getting rooms. When it gets to you, this sort of middle-aged man, graying hairs, is like, how many in your group?
4.
4, and how many
and
nights?
The bird.
The bird?
I,
Pets are fine. It's as long as they don't take up too much space.
okay. Mherren, how many nights?
I'd say maybe 2 nights.
We're a bit low on rooms. We have one right now, but I mean, we're actually kind of in luck. It's our nicest room, the top of the inn. That will be 10 gold per night.
Chump change. Per person or for
In
the
total.
room?
Slap down 21 gold. A little tip for the middle-aged man.
Well, thank you very much. If you end up staying any longer, just come see me down here, and I'll collect the payment for the future days. Gets out a key for you. He's like, "There you go. It'll be 3 flights up, and it's our deluxe package. So it's the room is actually that whole floor, more of an apartment really. There's a kitchen and everything."
Nice. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'll turn to the party. I do not have wings. I'm not sure how we're meant to fly up.
Flights of stairs, like
Oh.
yeah,
The
like
stairs have wings.
that. Yeah, sure. Motions for him to follow her, and then starts walking towards
Nordry
the.
looks like he's about to say something, but then he closes his beak and crosses his feather arms.
Ooh.
Seems like there's the corridor window on the other side, and seems like the only room up here.
I wanna check out this window.
Yeah, looking out the window, you just see on the other side of the inn. It's not a great view or anything. You just see like the landscape of farmland and such. Some of the obelisk mountains in the distance, way far in the distance. Opening it up, despite it being like the whole floor, and as he said, the nicest room, it's nothing to write home about. It looks like a comfortable stay. It's fairly spacious, but just, you know, wood floors. Everything looks pretty well worn. You see that there's 2 bedrooms and a bathroom.
Oh, this is nice.
This is something to write home about.
Yeah, I would write home about this instantly.
I'd
Is
say,
the way that,
Mama,
is the way that it looks slightly better than our place?
I like
this.
the double
I like the
toilets.
decor though.
But I think that's the point, because it's a hotel. Like,
Yeah, there's
What?
playing cards here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anyone want to play some poker?
oh,
I hardly
there's
know her.
split rooms.
I'll go with Pebble to the.
We can
Oh,
all go to
no.
the
Is
church.
everyone going to the who's going
No,
where?
I want to go to the store.
Okay. From the party then?
If we're going our separate ways, I'll entrust my speaking doll to Balthazar if he finds a fixer of dolls.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll accompany Mherren, even though I feel like she's not going to enjoy my company.
This place is called the Traveler Store. Going in, there's a few people in here that seem to also be not tourists, but just people traveling through, getting things like rations, loading up their carriages, and looks like a fairly normal general store. They seem to focus on, like I said, things like supplies for traveling, healing potions. Only thing of note you see that is not just like mundane is they have some horns of blasting. It's labeled as a device that can be used to signal to others in a 600 feet radius. If you get lost in the woods or something like that. You all also can tell by being seasoned fighters that if you do it close enough to someone, you may also deafen and damage them.
Oh, is that not the intended purpose?
Seems like they're not selling it for that purpose.
How many of these do they have?
They have like a whole like bucket of them basically.
How much are these?
So you notice looking around the shop, you notice that the healing potions specifically are 70 gold each, which is a bit pricier than they usually are. This horn of blasting, however, is 500 gold.
Jesus Christ.
I guess it's probably the only store around here. They need to keep themselves running, but it's still a bit fucked. 500 gold. I don't have. Do I have anything worth 500 gold?
Do you guys not have 500 gold if you want this?
No.
You seriously
What did,
have
what did you
500 gold?
buy
Wait,
recently?
you said 500?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you said like 5,000, and I was like, yeah, that's reasonable to not have that money.
What? Wait,
You mean-
what did
what do you mean, why
Balthazar
don't I have-
buy recently?
I bought fucking potions.
He bought potions. It costs money for him to learn the spell as well.
See, this,
Oh, my
this
bad.
is why I don't buy potions.
See a younger gentleman at the register. There's a few people, workers you spot in here, and the one older guy seems to be the manager. But one of the younger clerks comes up to you all and is like, "Oh, can I help you two with anything?"
I was interested in your blasting.
Sometimes there's creatures in the woods, especially the woods up north. This could scare them away. If you happen to get lost in those woods, below this, maybe a search party can come and find you. They're a great utility thing to have.
I see. By chance, you wouldn't be interested in buying any scrolls at all, would you?
Spell scrolls aren't usually something we get in. People aren't usually interested in them. It would depend on the scroll. I have to speak to my boss about it.
Sort of like loses track of stuff. I have a locate object scroll that could be really useful for him if he's really trying to find something. Like a scroll of feign death.
That one sounds scary.
Well, it's if you're a ladies' man, you happen to not want to get caught into a situation. This scroll just makes it seem like possibly you're dead. That way, the person would sort of actively look for you, and sort of you don't need to really worry about it.
Make a persuasion check. He's backing up slowly. He's like,
Oh my god.
oh, why would I want to be dead?
No, it doesn't actually make you dead.
I'm gonna get my boss.
Oh, okay.
So, walking backward and like, bumps into something, then quickly like goes behind the counter and like says something to the older gentleman who's like stocking some shelves, and like gets down off a step stool and comes up over to you and he's like, "Are you bothering my employees?"
No, it's not the intention. I'm just trying to see if you'd perhaps be interested in buying some scrolls.
Locate object and feign death. I mean, I could take the locate object one. Someone might want it. Not the typical client base we get. Give you 100 gold for it.
Okay, that would be good.
Mherren's just looking around, completely ignoring what the fuck's happening, because frankly, she doesn't want to be involved in this bartering.
I just want funny horn.
But
And also,
why?
she's still not on speaking terms with Balthazar.
For real.
You never know when we'll come across glass-like or crystal enemies.
I guess.
Nordry shifts around. He's crawled inside of your hood as you walk around, and he shifts around to the side of your ear. He's like, "You both are we to steal it?
We are not doing that.
I could go in there. I could root around, grab one, then I could blink out of there, out of the shop, and then we have it."
You know, this town does sound like they need more food. Maybe they like crow meat.
Oh,
Not crow, a raven. Forget it. You hear a bunch of feathers poof out of your hood as you see through the window. He poofs out on the other side, arms crossed or wings crossed, just like staring at you.
I love how often this bird crosses his wings. It is a very funny bit.
And he's kind of tapping his little raven feet.
His little-
The feathers like go in this guy's face, and he's like, "Whoa, okay. Anything else needed from me?
Nothing I need. My colleague might need something.
Doesn't seem like you're here with anyone." I'm looking around.
You'd think.
They may be around the store. They might just be looking at something.
Good day to you then. Shello, Pebble, you're heading over there. Kind of cobblestone streets of the town turned into more of a dirt path. It seems like it's stone, but it's kind of grown over with dirt and grass and such. So it's a bit worn, but it kind of winds up the hill to the doors of the church, and then there's another not even paved path at all, just kind of a patches of grass can be worn from people walking through that goes behind the church around the hill to a graveyard. Sort of, you can see peeking out from behind the hill. At the foot of the hill under the church is a sign. It's a stone sign. This seems to be made of like the same stone that the church itself is made out of. And over this stone sign is a wood board. It seems to be newer, that says on it in black paint, it says Holy Hill Cathedral of the Seldarin.
Oh, I see.
This is your holy house, yes?
I mean, I don't live here, but this is a Seldarin church.
Then we should be very welcome here, yes? This is good.
We can hope.
Going up the hill to the entrance, you open up the large doors, kind of going inside, and you see the very entrance of the doors is like this welcoming room with some benches, but you don't see anyone in here. You do hear some talking, such echoing through the building that seems to be on the other side of doors in this room. These doors are like open, and one seems to go into a larger hall of the sort of cathedral where the sermons and such seem to be given. And then there's other halls that go through other parts of the building.
I guess I'll head into the main hall then, if there's not a sermon going on right now.
You can hear talking. Do you want to make a perception check to see what it is before you walk in?
I would love that.
Okay.
13.
You don't hear what you would typically think of as like someone preaching to an audience. You hear like multiple voices. Sounds a little bit like these voices are, I guess, almost annoyed sounding, or they don't sound like they're pleased right now.
I see.
You can't make out like exactly what the saying is, but it seems like there's a bit of tension in the next room.
The perfect time for us to go in.
That's so true. Yeah, I'll peek my head in and see if I'm welcome.
There's pews. You see some people around. The first person you see, a larger man, kind of standing back to you right now, but he's like in the middle of like the two back pews, just kind of arms crossed. He's wearing this black button-up outfit. He has brown hair, longer brown hair, and like a ponytail in the back, and what looks like a very big beard. He looks well dressed. He's around like 6-something feet tall. You'd recognize this guy that's closest to you as sort of a preacher. There's two of the clergy, male, long ears, elvish. One has blonde hair, one has brown hair. They're over at a statue at the end. A statue of looks like a male elven deity, seems to be Corellin. However, there's like red smears over the statue, and these two clergymen are like scrubbing it with like sponges, trying to get it off. It looks like the statue was just like covered with something red, and they're currently cleaning it. You also
Maybe
see
ketchup.
a few nuns walking around watching, and then they leave as these people are cleaning, and the two people that are cleaning are like talking to each other. You can start to make out more what they're saying. They're like, "Who would do this? It's terrible." The preacher is sort of watching over them.
I'm gonna use all 4 of my arms to knock on the door.
As you do this, that taller, sort of imposing man, but he has a bit of a softer, almost kind-looking face, bright blue eyes. He looks down at you, and like he kind of hurriedly goes over to block your view. Hold on, wait. Are you coming here to see the church?
Yes, my friends and I were visiting, and I thought I should pay my respects.
We're in the middle of well, he kind of moves out of the way and kind of gestures towards the statue.
What happened here?
In the morning, we entered into the church for morning service, and statue to Corellin we hold so dear was bleeding.
The statue was bleeding.
Yes.
How? What do you mean? Like,
From the stones poured
There was blood.
bloody tears.
I see.
You mean that blood was coming out of the stony person?
It bled for minutes, but it was all covered in time. If our icon to Corellin is like this, we can only take it as a sign from the gods. Something is wrong.
I see. I'm so sorry. Should I go?
Well,
If you're busy, that's okay.
what did you come here for?
I just wanted to look at the church, and in my travels I've been trying to see how other people who worship the Seldran gods worship other people from different areas and cultures. But
I'm very sorry, this is not the best place to pray currently, but if you'd like, you may come into my office.
thank you.
Takes you and leads you down some halls. You see some more nuns walking by. Some of them younger, some of them a little bit older. You count that there's about like a handful of them here. There's not like too many. You see a handful of nuns, some clergy people that seem to be a bit younger, and one other bit of a older man you also see walking the halls, very deep wrinkles and like dark eye bags. It kind of like watches you a little bit creepily as you walk by.
Nice.
This man leads you up to another floor, kind of close to like where the entrance, like the bell tower is, and takes you up here into like a sort of office area. And he says, "Welcome to my town. My name is Hijinks Roy. I'm the pastor here at the church, and I also govern the town."
It's so nice to meet you. Do you know what could possibly be causing this? The statue, I mean.
This is Omen. There is no doubt.
An omen of what, do you think?
Well, this is not the first sign. There have been strange happenings within the town. People claiming to see visions, waking up bloody, forming mysterious wounds on them. Strange occurrences we can't quite explain.
I'm so sorry.
The general mood of the town has not been the best. I feel comfortable telling you this, as you are a paladin, which your rival tells me. This is a problem that can be fixed. Krillin sent you to lend your strength that we can be saved.
How long has this been going on for, roughly?
It started out small, maybe a month ago. People just saying they saw things through their windows at night, shadows creeping in the dark. Coyotes possibly from woods, but it's grown more frequent. People say they've even seen it to have signs of something in their home. Things going missing, moved. Like I said, just recently, as a few days, people have woken up with cuts, scratches. There's been blood found in people's homes, and just now, the worst of it today. The very statue bleeds.
This all happens when you are sleeping, yes?
Not quite. As of recently, people have claimed to see things during the day. Signs, as we call them, that things are not right. There is some evil within this town, and Krillin, the elven gods, are not happy. Precisely why I asked you to come up here with me. You paladin look capable. We haven't had a paladin in town in quite some time. You could be of use to root out, well, the sinners in the town. I believe that There's something here is making Krillin angry.
I would love to help you. I want to do everything I can to help. Where do I start? What can I do for you?
Since this is a sign of ill fortune within the church, I hate to admit this, but this omen, this sin could be originating from the very church. If the Krellin statue is crying blood, someone we believe to be faithful might have broken their faith.
Oh, okay.
You require us to speak with the people of your big holy building and find the dinners?
The sinners.
This
the
could be the
sinning-
place
sinning.
to start. I'm sure the townsfolk may have stories they could tell you of what they've seen. Some have even claimed to be possessed.
I see. Is there anyone I should start with? Someone who seems to have had more of an effect?
I cannot tell you who to start with. However, Primor Alden, the older gentleman we passed by in the halls, I do not believe him to be any individual causing this. He is my right hand, per se.
I see.
Start with the youthful of the church. They may be more susceptible to evil.
Okay. I'll start there. Thank you, sir.
I don't like this guy.
Thank you. And he crosses his arms at his back, kind of folding them, and like as you taking your cue to exit the room, as he kind of goes up to a window. Not really a window, there's no glass in it, it's kind of an opening of the office that kind of looks out over the town, as he kind of like looks down, just watches some like rain coming in through this opening in the wall.
Do I get any sort of vibe from him as he's looking out? I'm assuming that this guy is probably not
Check out his body language.
faithful himself.
Make an insight check.
I got a 17.
As he looks out over the town, like he's highly suspicious of like something within this town. From him speaking, you get the impression that he is obviously displeased, but also you get so much desperation that he's trying very hard to hide, but he's having trouble hiding that desperation. Almost like he's nervous, not just at the bloody statue and everything that's happening. He seems nervous that it's like bubbling up to something, maybe. In fact, he seems to be taking you all coming here almost like a blessing. He seems very trusting at you, like immediately. Seems a little bit desperate for your help. Very much most obvious right now with him looking over the town, suspicion of something within the town, something that's either that these signs are either pointing to being something wrong, or perhaps something specific that's causing it.
Okay.
So, for the record, I, the _ scallywag Dawn, also don't really trust this guy that much.
But does
That's
Pebble trust
absurd.
him?
See, that's
Of
the
course.
fun thing. Of course she does.
Listen, I love you, and I love Pebble as a character, but good God.
Well, this guy is part of the church. He's big up in the church.
He couldn't do any
Just because
wrong.
he has a Russian accent doesn't mean he's evil.
Big man up in the
So
church
more,
with
true.
an
more
Eastern
so
European
the being
accent.
head of the church thing, like being big up in the church, and then talking about hunting down sinners is where it like gets a little
Well,
bit
I mean-
skeptical for me personally.
But if there are the thing is, imagine this, if you will, Lane. If there are sinners amongst your ranks,
Among us, perhaps.
perhaps, and that's bringing down the good name of your religion, perhaps even bringing you across a blight on your town, you might want to maybe get rid of these dinners, eat them up, yum yum.
If it
Eat the
If it was-
sinners.
real and not just me being very dramatic and thinking that no one in town can not follow the religion, then yes, that's fair.
Well, who's to
But
say?
we don't know that yet, which is why I'm skeptical.
You two
I'd be
going back
skeptical of
to
you.
the main room of the church. Are you
I
gonna look through the
yeah.
holes of
So
it?
yeah.
With a
Uh,
reporter's pad and a trilby on my head.
As you do around this point, Mherren and Balthazar have also arrived, going to this main hall, and you four meet back up. There's these two kind of clergy boys. They look look like minors. They seem pretty young, or they've kind of taken a break from scrubbing this and are like sitting next to the statue, just kind of wiping sweat off their heads and kind of just heavy breathing, staring at the floor.
I just want to say real quick, can I do a check on the guys to see if they're actually just focused on the floor or if they're avoiding?
Make an insight check.
If they're trying to like avoid looking, or if they're
Yeah, just
actually
like
just
avoid eye
tired.
contact, yeah. Or if they're like focusing on their task or if they're avoiding eye contact type deal.
Yeah, that's
I got a
fair.
10.
They just seem tired to you, like almost like they're zoning out as they're taking a break. You can tell that they're visibly sweating through their clothes. They just seem tired.
Okay.
All right. So I spoke to the head priest, who apparently is also sort of like a mayor of the town. There have been some not great things going on in the town. People have been hallucinating. Some people are claiming to be possessed. There's people waking up with wounds on their body, and the statue has been crying blood. There's some sort of sinning going on within the church that's causing this. The head preacher, he asked if I could help find the sinners as a paladin.
So that's the man I met at the ball.
Oh,
Are you 100% sure about what he's saying?
I believe so. I don't know why he would be lying about this. He's
Just a couple days ago, obviously at the ball, he was bragging about his status in his town. He seemed completely unfazed.
well, maybe he didn't want to bring it to the attention of a ton of high-ranking people at a dance. I can't really blame him for that.
But you're just gonna trust him blindly?
He's a man of faith.
So what? So was the paladin that tried to kill us before. What?
Not anymore.
Oh.
He's
Yes,
a
but he was. That's the point. You can't just trust anyone just because they follow a god.
I'm not just blindly trusting him. I believe him by what he's saying. It sounds like it's true. And I mean, you see the statue?
The size of the statue it's not a huge statue. It's probably bigger than like the average person by a few feet. Probably like a little bit taller than Mherren. So it's not like massive or anything, but it's not like
It's kind of funny.
it's not like life size to like an elven person.
So would Mherren be able to like, I guess, touch the liquid? Like be able to get it on her fingers?
It's not wet really anymore, but rubbing against it, it smears some of it onto your fingers since they've been scrubbing it seemingly since this morning. It's just kind of stained into the marble. It's not like wet on the marble still, but some of it does smear onto your fingers.
I would like to smell it.
Okay, make a I guess a straight wisdom.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
I mean, you get a scent of like soap. Trying to smell past that, there's like a Looks like coins. Copper? Iron?
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Now, like, rub it between my fingers, see how viscous it is.
It's sort of dry, so it starts to spread and smear between your fingers a little bit, but then it kind of like stops and is just kind of like sort of on your skin now. But you do get the impression it is blood that has been sitting for hours, has been tried to scrub clean.
Does it actually look like, can I see if it looks like it was like brushed out, or like if it actually has been poured from there, or if it was
Make a investigation check.
okay. Ugh, 5.
From what you can see, there are smears of red under the eyes, and there's splatters of red and more smears all over the entire body. It looks like at one point it was like almost completely covered in just blood. As you're getting like up touching it, the 2 clergy boys kind of snap out of their rest and sort of get up and are like, "Oh, sorry, excuse me, probably shouldn't be touching that." Blonde hair one speaking to you all.
I'll walk to Mherren and say, "Do you believe me now? There's something wrong. It's my job as a paladin to fix it. Why else would a statue be crying blood? That doesn't really seem like a good sign, right?"
You also don't know that the statue truly did this. I do believe that it's blood. It has the same viscosity after sitting for a while. It's got the same dark, rusty color. It smells metallic, but that does not necessarily mean that this happened the way he described it.
"Oh, paladin!" He looks up at the statue and he's like, "Arriving just as the statue bleeds. It surely is a sign." He like gets to his knees and starts pulling his hands up to his face, looking like he's praying to it.
This feels culty.
Yeah, that's what a religion is, Lane.
You know what I mean.
No, I do.
No.
I'm just being a dick. I'm
No,
sorry.
you are, being obtuse on purpose.
Roughly how long would you say strange things have been happening?
The brown hair elf, he starts saying something, and then the blonde one grabs his like cloak and sort of like pulls him down to pray with him. The blonde hair one kind of tilts his head towards you as he still is in like the position of praying. He's like, "Well, the worst of it has been last week."
All in all, how long would you say?
The brown-haired boy, a bit softer spoken, is like, "I would say maybe a month. There wasn't a time where it just started, and we don't know."
How long have you boys been of the cloth?
We're elves born into the faith.
And have you always been cleaning the stone man since birth?
We simply help Savory in any duties of the church. Well, you see the statue is bloody. Why would we not clean the great clan from this filth?
We have a special task given to us by your silver man.
Blonde-haired one kind of seemed glance at the brown-haired one who's like closing his eyes and praying, and looks back towards you and is like, "We thank you for your investigating this. We need to find out who here could be causing this ill fortune."
If you have any further information, or if you happen upon information yourself, I do hope that you are able to find us. We will be in the area for a little while. Just call my name, and if I do not hear you, try calling my name somewhere else.
What was your name?
Shello, the amazing juggling on. I genuinely fucked that up so bad.
Shello wouldn't fuck that up, so I was out of character.
Hello definitely would not have fucked that up. This is the
so
one thing
funny.
that he knows how to say.
That's
so
crazy.
I really like that even when you were like in frustration, like it was still in like the Shello voice, so it just sounded like Shello was having a crisis.
Do you know of anybody who may have joined your ranks in recent times, or perhaps someone who may have left your ranks in recent times?
We only arrived at the church less than a month ago. We were sent here from the capital to aid.
How many times a day do you two pray?
Don't really keep count. Anytime I feel the need to.
And you?
A few times a day, probably not enough.
I see.
Am I able to see this statue's armpits?
The statue's in a formation where the arms are like not out like that. No.
Okay. Am I able to see this statue's crotch?
There's like a sword that the statue is holding that covers the crotch. It's like
Damn.
holding a sword at the front, kind of looking forward.
When we leave the room, I want to cast invisibility on myself. And I want to go back into the main hall and just kind of listen in on if the two boys speak to each other.
They're quiet for a bit, for a few minutes. They're just like scrubbing, occasional like grunts and such. Then the blonde one stops. You're let me do the talking. After the fit you were into the other day, you're part of the problem. And he just goes back to scrubbing. The brown hair one, now scrubbing like even faster, is like, I didn't do anything wrong though. I don't know why it happened to me. And then the blonde hair one is like, probably haven't been playing enough. Clearly, Krellin, the gods, they're mad. We don't have enough faith. We just have to show that we are the faithful. Yes. I will play more. Let's just get this clean. I hate seeing it like this.
Use telepathy to let Pebble know that I'm staying behind to listen in on the boys. Without us present, they are speaking with each other, though they do both seem to be genuinely faithful. Perhaps the one of with the darker hair, it seems maybe something happened with him. Maybe this possessions of sort.
But we'll start wandering to the other halls of this cathedral, trying to find other people to talk to.
You see like a few nuns walking by. You also see that one much older gentleman walking by. The nuns seem to separate into a few different groups. There's like two different cliques of like younger girls that stick together, and then some of the head nuns kind of like watch over them and like seem to be doing like more administrative duties and such, with the others helping them with certain tasks.
She'll stop by that older gentleman who you mentioned. Hello, sir.
He stops, looks down at you. He's like around the same height as Silvori, and he just kind of stares at you and doesn't say anything.
I wanted to speak with you. I mean, you're well aware that there are problems right now in the church. I wanted to ask you a little bit about them, if that's okay.
Still staring at you.
I don't have suspicion of you. I should clarify. I just wanted to get your opinion on this, as your Silvori, he said that you're trustworthy.
He slowly nods his head up and down once.
Okay. When did you first start to begin something was off in the church?
He slowly holds up one hand, his arms kind of folded at his chest, holds up one hand with 4 fingers up.
4 weeks?
He slowly nods his head down once again.
I see. If I may ask, have you taken a vow of silence?
Slowly nods his head again.
I see. Okay. Do you know of anyone who you think might be under suspicion? So anyone who I should investigate first?
He looks behind you.
Can I tell who he's looking or what he's looking at?
Turning around, you see two younger looking nuns walking up down the hall towards you. When you look back, he is now turned around. He's walking the other way down the hall. Upright, arms still folded at his chest, and he rounds the corner.
This guy's suspicious as fuck.
And the other two nuns come up to you and like kind of one of them lightly like touches your arm, and she has long white hair, kind of rosy cheeks. She seems teenage, young adult, maybe. She has like two other nuns walking behind her. Are you just speaking to Primor Alden? Ah, he's a creepy one.
Yeah, he
You'd probably
seems...
just let him be. He kind of just wanders the halls and stares.
I see that.
If you're new here, I can take it upon myself to show you around. Wasn't aware a paladin would be joining our ranks.
Actually, is it okay if I ask you a couple questions? I'm here to try and...
Oh yes, I could
figure
tell
out-
you're new here.
yeah,
Just visiting
sorry.
the church?
I'm a paladin from the capital.
Oh,
I wanted to ask you a couple questions about what's been going on in the church as of late.
of course.
How long have you been noticing strange occurrences in the church?
Well, us nuns, they keep us locked in here. Nah, not literally, but I would like to go outside on the town more. It's the capital is such a nice place. I wish we were still there.
It's okay. Yeah.
There's just so many shops to go to. They didn't keep you inside, and even if I was able to really go out and away from our duties here, there's not even much in this town. What am I going to go to the butcher and hang out with the dead animals there? No. It's you're talking about the bloody statue, the possessions.
Yeah, precisely.
I've heard they've been happening in the town for well over a month now, here and there. It was in this church, though. I would say it's only been like the last few days.
I see. Has there been anyone seeming different in the past few days ever since this happened?
Actually, make a persuasion check.
Perfect. Has a 15.
He says, kind of getting closer to you. He's like, I wasn't supposed to tell anyone this. They asked us not to, but you saw that the brown-haired elven boy, the little nerdy one.
Yeah.
He was one of the ones that was possessed.
Possessed how? In what way? I mean.
When they were filling the wine chalices for the sermon a couple days ago, he flipped out. He was staring out the window outside and the wheat farm across the way down the hill, and he took the goblet he was filling up and just threw the wine in it at the blonde one's face.
Oh.
Then he knocked all of them to the floor, but some of them broke. They had us clean it up.
Would I know, as a paladin, would I know what a typical possession sort of looks like?
Make a religion check.
Cool. I swear to God, if I get a bad fucking... Alright. How's a 7?
You've heard of possessions. Paladins from your church have gone to like house calls over so-called possessions. Usually you'd hear that it's like some other thing causing it, but occasionally there will be some sort of ghostly possession or something. You'll hear stories about like paladin saving someone. Not something you have ever done, so you don't really know too much other than these possessions are a thing paladins have dealt with at your church before.
I see. Does this sound similar to stories I've heard?
Yeah, a lot of possessions have people with like irritable moods, things like that.
Gotcha.
Flailing his fists around, they had to get some of the guards from the tower to come up here and pin him to the ground. He was scratching his own neck. He's a
I see.
weird kid. He was always quiet.
How long have you known him?
Just since we all got here.
That makes sense. If I may ask, how often in the day do you pray? How many times roughly?
Once in the morning, once at night, every day. A few times throughout the day, depending on what's going on. Been playing more as of recent.
I can imagine so.
As I'm telling you, I of course do my prayers. I'll be safe from all this, but I'm just worried one of these other ones could flip out, attack me. I don't want the wine thrown on me. I take very good care of my habits.
And have you personally experienced any of the possessions or abnormal activities going on recently? Or has it mostly been something you've seen from the outside?
I should tell you my name. My name's Celine. My friend back there, she saw some sort of red creature, she says, and the other one, not that girl she's talking about, sort of tries to hide a giggle. He says he saw something out one of the windows one day. I haven't personally seen anything.
Thank you for your time. This will be very helpful.
Yes, I hope you can figure this out. It's causing a whole stir here, and I do like it as entertainment, maybe not at Krellin's expense. They walk away, and they kind of giggle to themselves as they walk away. The group of the three girls, they're also around teenage years. The one you're talking to, Celine, she seems a bit of like a popular preppy girl. They're two lackeys.
I sort of
kind of mean girl vibes.
Pick that up.
Is it possible for me to start making my way back towards the group, but hanging at a distance to kind of maybe follow the people they talk to?
Yeah, you're following these group of girls now? Yeah, they're going into this kind of library room. Not like a huge library or anything. It's just like one room with some bookshelves and such, like a medium-sized room. They're just like collecting some books, it seems, for one of the head nuns. And one of them takes one and is like reading them as they go and like putting them in like a stack and stuff. As you're listening, they're just kind of chatting. One is like, see what Marie was wearing the other day? Like stuff like that. You see one take out like a book and like point to a picture in it, holding it to the one, that elven girl with like brown hair and glasses, the one that they said claimed to see something. Celine holds up a book to her and like points at a picture in it and is like, that looks like someone you would go for. And you see the picture in the book is like anatomy of like a dead body. And then
oh, very nice.
He gives the book to the other girl, and then that girl looks like she very mad, just kind of staring at this at Celine as she goes to do some other stuff, and she takes the book and hits Celine in the back of the head.
Nice.
See.
And Celine is like, what did you do that for? And then that other girl is like, I'm tired of this. You two are so mean. You don't even care about each other. And she just like storms off. And it's like the other two look at each other and they start laughing.
Can
How
I?
lovely.
So I I'm starting to see a connection. I don't know if I want to follow the one girl storming off or if I want to hang around with the other two to see if they start to spread rumors. I'll follow the one girl.
What is Pebble, Balthazar, Mherren doing?
I guess I'll just keep walking until I find someone.
Okay, do you want to go for the group of 2 other teenager nuns or the 2 older nuns? Those are the only other people in the church.
I guess the older nuns first to sort of.
Okay, there's one that's like a lot older, and then one that's more just like middle aged, and they're in like a room, sort of washing some clothing. The oldest one is like, I heard you're investigating this terrible business happening.
I am, yeah. I wanted to know if I could ask you a couple questions.
Of course.
Okay, well, first of all, when was the first time you started noticing strange occurrences in the church?
In the church, only within the week. In town, the times I've been in there, I've seen some of the villagers more irritable, and someone warned me to be careful. Hoping it wouldn't reach the church. Superstition of the townsfolk is what I thought, but it's hard to look past these omens now. Evil is creeping up from the shadows of people, but they try to hide. That's just what I think, dearie.
Is there anyone in the church particularly who you feel like has been more afflicted than the others? Or anyone who you think might possibly be suspicious of maybe having something to do with this?
Well, none of the girls are up on they're very slow at their chores. Could be any of them.
Yeah, gotcha.
With Balthazar's history sort of in teaching and dealing with problematic students such as Giles, would I sort of be able to sort of spot anything that would seem suspicious to me? Sort of as anyone who would like vandalize?
Do an insight check at advantage.
14 and 24.
With the 2 boys, especially since they're like the ones cleaning it, you're not getting the impression that this is something they did. And they also don't really seem like the type that would vandalize. The blonde one seems a bit more outspoken, maybe like a little more troublesome, but not to the caliber of like vandalizing something. The clique of girls you ran into, while, like I said, they are kind of like this mean girl type of clique, you're not getting the impression that vandalizing something is what they do. They're more in the realm of like gossip, maybe pranking someone, possibly, but not like vandalizing a statue of their own deity. That doesn't seem like something this group of girls would do. Celine specifically, she seems kind of uptight, preppy. You really don't think she would even want to be near blood. So far, you're not getting the impression this has been vandalism from these kids.
I guess we just need to sort of search the area a bit more. Is there anything that you can sort of see or notice, Mherren? Is there anything that's sort of caught your eye?
Well, she seems a little bit reluctant, but she talks not looking at Balthazar. She's still looking around the room, pointedly not looking at Balthazar.
Yeah, kind of that.
I don't trust that this is the will of a god. I think that the leader is full of it, more or less. Gods can do a lot, but this seems like weird fear-mongering. And I mean, it was clearly blood on the statue. I do believe that. but there's just so many ways for blood to get onto a statue. And weird things happen in small towns all the time. We've encountered many odd things in small towns.
Mhm.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Two other nuns walk by you, one with like brown curly hair, glasses, looks like the youngest, probably around like 14 years old. And then another nun elf with pale white skin, bit taller, like 6 feet maybe, very skinny, black hair, and that's kind of poking out from her veil. The curly haired one has some like round bracelets she's wearing, and then the taller one has like this very thin red thread kind of wrapped around her hand and her arm. And they're bringing up like dirty clothes, habits, it looks like hampers full of clothes, bring it to the two older nuns, and then the oldest picks one out, and it has like a brown stain on it, and is like, "Whose is this? Nicolessa, Marie, is this either of yours?" And then the curly brown hair one is like, "No, Luana." And then the taller one is like, it was mine. Sorry, I was eating some of the porridge and spilled it on myself. I'm very sorry." And then Luana looks at, it was the oldest one, looks at the kind of middle-aged nun, and then that one is like, "Luana, surely Nicolessa has never stained any of her habits. I'm sure it'll be fine this one time without going with punishment." Then Luana says, "Right, Vittoria, we'll let you go this time, but be careful." Nicolessa, Marie both bow and like, "Yes, Mother Superior." And then they both file out of the room.
You're all aware that when blood dries, it goes brown.
Oh, yeah. I knew that. Mherren, do you know if you'd be able to tell the difference between blood and porridge if you were to look at that, even if it's dried?
Easily.
Okay, then.
She knows a lot about porridge.
I'm going to reapproach the nun and say, if I could take a look at that habit with the stain on it.
Oh, look at dirty clothes.
Well, trust me, it's...
Humor us.
Oh, holds it up to you.
Just gonna investigate the fabric.
Yeah, go ahead. Either do a investigation check or a wisdom check.
Dirty 20.
If it's dried blood, it would probably be weeks old. If it is blood, it's so old that you can't tell the difference between it being an old blood stain or food.
If that was a lie that she made and it is blood, then I would imagine she would clean it a lot sooner than for it to get weeks old.
Well, my guess was that she didn't actually have, if it was blood, she didn't actually have the bloodied one and she was covering for someone else. Because the body language seemed that way. Or not body language, but how Peanut did the voices seemed that way.
What you get with your 20 is that if it is a blood stain, it's been set for some time.
Well, the boys did say that it's been going on for a month anyway, didn't they?
But in the church, it's only been going on for about a week-ish.
I think I
So
don't
even-
understand the timeline. Because I thought the boys said they only got there a couple weeks ago, but that the stuff has been going on for a month.
Well, the stuff in the town has been happening for about a month, but in the church, it didn't become a problem until the past week-ish.
It's not impossible that there could be blood on the habit. It's just a little bit hard to tell. I think that it's probably blood, but I wouldn't go based just off of that. So Mherren's gonna pause and then turn to the nun. Just, do you have any other dirty clothes storage? I'm sorry, it sounds bad, but it's just to get a better idea.
We wash all the clothes here. All the dirty clothes would be in here. We're pretty regimented with cleaning everything. However, it's been Nicholas and Marie's job on their chores the last few weeks. We're just taking over for them. We cycle through the weeks.
Can I look around and see if there's any other pieces of clothing that have this similar stain?
Yeah, make a investigation check.
Fuck, dude, 7.
Looking through the clothing, you're not seeing any stains that match that. There's not a lot of clothing to go through, whoever, because it does seem like they wash clothes pretty regularly.
And do you all have separate rooms here, or?
The girls will stay in one room. Me and Vittoria, we share a room as well. The clergy boys have their own room, and Henrik and Primo each have individual rooms.
Would you mind pointing us to the girls' room?
Yes. She gets up, takes her a little bit, got like straight in the back and stuff. Leans out the door frame and just kind of points down the hall. Points out the room that belongs to the girls.
All right, thank you. And then we're gonna walk down to the room.
Okay. It's unlocked. Inside is actually Nicolessa and Marie, the two that were just in there, and they're sitting on like the same bed. Seems like they're speaking, and they see you all come in. The taller one is like, "Oh, hello. My name's Nicolessa. This is Marie. You need something with us?"
I'm starting to think that they're all gay.
Whoa. Where did that come from?
I don't know, man. I
mean,
just got a vibe.
You're probably right, but damn. They're Dragon Deez Dice characters, let's be honest here.
Hello, girls. I am Mherren. This is Pebble, and Mherren's just gonna push Balthazar out of the room. That guy's Balthazar. Don't worry about him. Go outside. Go. And we're just, taking a look around for the preacher. He asked us to look into a few things with what's been going on in town and the church lately. So we were just wondering, if we could take a look, if that's okay with you guys.
That's perfectly fine, yes.
All right, perfect. Don't mind us. We'll just do our business.
If you
Um,
have any questions, feel free to ask.
all right, thank you.
Now in a room with windows, you can see that it's now nighttime outside. You guys have been here for a little bit, looking through and questioning people. What are you sort of looking for in this room?
Well, first, I, Mherren, am looking for anything that could be stained or anything that could be hidden. Not looking too obviously, just like a quick glance down, see if anything's amiss, like see if there's anything under the bed, anything under the mattress, without looking too hard. Like, she's looking, but she doesn't want to make it obvious to the two girls that she is looking for everything. And while she's looking, just you two have heard about the strange things going on, right? With like the statue and the stuff in town.
Marie says, "Oh yes, it's horrible. I hope you all showing up here is the blessing and figure this out." Nicolessa says, what she says, "We just want this whole thing to be over and go back to normal, really." Make a perception check.
Oh, I can't see it. Oh, it's a fucking 8. Well, that's fair. I think Mherren would believe that.
That was for looking around in the room as you speak to them.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm still also making conversation.
Yeah. From a quick glance, room seems pretty tidy. You notice that their section is a little bit more tidy than what you recognize as the other girls' section.
Interesting.
You're not really seeing anything that looks out of place, though.
I'm a paladin from the capital. I'm here initially just to see what this church is like, but I decided to help out with hopefully solving what's going on here. I just wanted to ask, are there any people within the church that you would say are maybe less devoted than the others, or known to cause trouble, perhaps?
Nicolasa says, "Oh, I see you're a paladin of Angara. You're definitely one to trust then. Ones that are more, well, I wouldn't say they're less faithful. I wouldn't want to say that about anyone, but, well, Celine Cazalis, one of the other nuns, she is, I saw you talking to her earlier. I'm sure you can pick up that she's not the nicest. But as for, I see her pray. I see her keep faith. So I don't think she's the one doing this. Sorry, I just had to. I saw you a paladin. I had to, I guess, just get it off my chest that she's been bothering us.
That's fair. Is there any specific event that you feel is tied to more occurrences, more strange things happening? Anything that, when it happens, it seems to make things worse?
I haven't noticed something. Some people claim they see a specter watching them, and I think those are usually the ones that seem to get, as they say, possessed. People say they see it at the windows, on roofs, within the wheat of the farm. Some of the townsfolk I heard are afraid to even go outside and look out the windows at all.
I see.
If you don't mind my asking, when do these events take place? Like, how or when does the blood get on the statue? Did it happen at night, during the day? And about the possessions, did people report it in the morning or at night?
Typically, I believe they happen at night. However, in the recent week, more people have claimed they see things in the daylight, the omens becoming more clear, as if we're not noticing something. I don't know.
Have either of you experienced anything related to that?
Oh, no. I'm afraid to. I hope I don't.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Alright.
Marie is kind of like watching Nicholas as she talks, nodding her head. Seems like another case of her being a bit more quiet.
17.
Despite claiming that she's glad you all are here, especially Pebble being the paladin, she doesn't seem trusting of you all right now. Occasionally, it seems like she'll say something, then kind of like change her words, or like backpedal a little bit. Like, sounds like she's anxious about something, but is trying to keep a confidence, trying to like trick herself into being confident, possibly. Sitting very upright, has a straight face, but she's kind of fidgeting with the red threads around her fingers and hands and kind of pulling at the ones at her wrist. The strange body language. You definitely feel like there's something she knows, but she's watching her wording to not let it slip.
Okay. But it seems like she's mostly telling the truth, aside from the, like with the few things that she has said. Has it seemed like she's telling the truth, or does it seem...
It's hard to tell. You believe that she's mostly being truthful, but the way that it seems like she's kind of holding some stuff back, you're not entirely sure.
You know what? I think I actually remember seeing something in the other room. Pebble, would you mind going and checking out the other with the other nun, please? I'm trying to get the paladin out of the room.
Well, yeah, I picked that up. She's gonna be like, "Oh, yeah. What am I looking for?"
Well, just if you could just go through the laundry again, just ask a few questions that we missed, maybe about, the same thing, like the events happening, all that.
Okay, she'll do that.
Gurren's like not being very specific because she wants Pebble to understand what she's doing, but doesn't want to make it super obvious.
Pebble doesn't really pick up on it, but she leaves anyway.
Marie
Okay.
hears you say that, and she like quickly says, "The laundry. What do you expect in the laundry?"
Oh, just, going over a few things. There were some odd stains and stuff. We just want to make sure, go through everything.
I don't know what stains would have to do with anything. Then Nicolessa kind of like bumps into her shoulder.
I see.
Well, it's just to be thorough, You can never know with these sorts of things, and
Yes, of course,
we
we
want to make
understand. You have
sure
to
that you
look at
guys are safe.
every nook and cranny. Of course, we get it.
Mherren's gonna go over and make sure the door is closed.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna come back. So could I like sit on the bed across from them?
Yeah.
'Cause I assume they're just lined up, right?
Yes.
She's just gonna hands on her lap. So, anything either of you want to say?
They look at each other. Can you make an intimidation check? It seems like they're getting the impression they're getting like a stern talking to.
Okay, 13. Despite Mherren's, actually, I would say that she's probably not giving them, like, she's not glaring or anything.
Yeah,
Her
yeah.
eyebrows are narrow. So I think that would
Nicolessa
be a
is
low
like,
roll.
we haven't really been involved with any of this. Of course, we've been playing and such.
Yeah, I totally understand that. And I'm sure that's part of your day-to-day, just praying, doing what you can for the church. But you seemed a little bit worried or unsure about the stain I mentioned. And the nun did tell us that the stained habit belonged to you.
Marie's just worried for me, thinking I'll get in trouble because of the stain. It's just from food I was eating the other day.
Can I do an insight check again?
Yeah.
Please, 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 please. Fuck you. 4.
You're not picking up anything, but with your previous check, you know that the stain looks older than just the other day.
Well, I'm just not exactly getting the story. Because I actually looked at that piece of clothing, and if it was just from the other day, it sort of had, if it was porridge, it would have that sort of gunky, it'd be a little bit dry, but that little gunky texture. But it was completely dry. It seemed almost weeks old.
Nicolessa seems to get a little bit more defensive. She's like, "Is anything wrong with that? Because it's an older stain doesn't mean anything."
Well, of course not. It's just that you just mentioned that the stain was from the other day.
Well, I just got my days mixed up. Being here, there's barely any windows in this place.
Nicolessa, Marie, I am not here to judge you. I am not here to make you seem sinful, but I am here to try and figure out what's happening and to make sure that everyone stays safe. And frankly, in my eyes, your preacher doesn't have to know about it, but I need to know what's going on to know whether or not you're in danger. And I'm hoping you can help me out with that a little bit by being at least a little bit more honest. You don't have to tell me if you've been involved at all, but I do need to know what's happening.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check at advantage.
Of advantage. Please, please, please. Okay, that's not terrible. Please, please. Okay, that's fine. 15.
Nicolessa going a little bit quiet, but then Marie is like, fine, it was mine. Nico was just covering for me. Nicolessa is like, Marie, don't.
Too late now.
There's a lot of people I would do that for too. It's normal to want to protect those you care about. What really caused the stain?
Nicolessa kind of sighs, and Marie says, "Well, it wasn't from porridge. You can't tell the headmistress about this, but I got the job at the butcher. I sneak out at night sometimes and go down there to make money. He pays me under the table. Nicolessa and I were talking about running away."
What did I fucking say? What did I fucking say?
You. Damn. Well, I know
I'm on top of it, man.
you're the best investigator out of all of us, and it's not even close.
Nicolessa is
Probably.
like, you kind of bring her hand to her face. Is like, we weren't really planning to run away. We were talking about it offhandedly. We weren't actually gonna do it. I had no idea she was doing this until she was hiding her dirty clothes under the bed, and that one just got mixed up with the other ones.
Like I said, on my life, on my very soul and being, I will not tell anyone. I will not tell anyone what's happening. I will not tell anyone what you have done, that you have a job, which, good for you. Sorry, I'm not the best in social situations. I'll admit it. I'm glad that you are safe though, and you haven't seen anything odd when you go out at night.
Marie's like, no, not at all, but this is why it's happening. Leaving the church, Krellin sees it. We're the ones that are sinful wanting to leave the church. I know it.
Why is that sinful? You still follow your god. You're just doing it in private.
Yes, but we're giving up our vow to the church. We just break that and leave. We wouldn't be good nuns.
But you're not breaking your vow to your god. Isn't that what's important?
Nicolessa is like, yes, Murray, it couldn't be us. Just don't worry about it.
I am not a worshipper by any means. I've had my run-in with a god or two before, but you made a promise to your god, and you're keeping your promise. I don't think your god would punish you for that. And I think you can have a life that you choose and stay devout to your god at the same time. I know plenty of people who have done it. Why can't you?
Thank you. Just don't tell Luana about this. I'd be in so much trouble.
I swear on my life, this stays between us. And stay safe. And Mherren's gonna get up.
As you do so, you hear one of the older nuns yell out, like, "Girl, it's bedtime!" The door, as you go for the door opens, and Celine is walking in and almost bumps into you and is like, "Oh, excuse me, if very large, can you please move out of the way?"
Ouch!
Dick. Damn.
Mherren kind of just rubs the back of her neck and steps to the side.
The
Like, damn!
three other girls file in and start getting things tidy, ready for bed.
Can I just do one last glance around the room? I don't really know what I'm looking for. Just anything that seems off, even in body language.
Yeah. Specifically body language, as all the girls convene together. Go for insight check.
Please. Fuck you, game 7!
You get the feeling, of course, that these two cliques of nuns are not friends. Nothing is really standing out to you other
Save
than that.
my girls. I've grown attached to them. Were they meant to be like a thing, or did you just say that because I started saying shit? How accurate is my gaydar?
Make an insight check.
Oh, you bastard. Fine. Insight. How good's my freaking gaydar? 18, baby!
Okay.
Make a gaydar check.
Between
Careful,
Nicolessa
Peter.
and Marie, Nicolessa seems to be almost taking on more of a sisterly role to Marie.
Are you a historian right now?
Oh my lord.
That's
where he
fair.
says, however.
Best friends who acted like brothers.
I'll say that you catch Nicolessa making a few glances at Celine actually that you don't pick up his hatred.
No! No!
Damn.
That bitch. I'm talking about Celine, not. That's the bitch that called Mherren
when
large.
She can fix her.
when they come into the room, Nicolessa kind of blushes a little bit, you notice.
I knew there had to be lesbians somewhere in here, man. Like, there's too many nuns to not be.
Too many nuns to not have lesbians.
Exactly.
Wild.
You notice Celine kind of teasing Nico and Marie in a bit of a bullyish way, making some like snide comments and stuff, but you notice that Nicolessa is kind of almost inserting herself in Celine's way that brings upon these comments, and you notice it's maybe a little bit purposeful.
Shit.
You kind of clocked it.
I almost clocked it. I didn't necessarily say specifically they two were gay. Okay, I just said that there were gay people here. I knew that they were somewhere. I catch the scent.
And you
you know what? I clocked the one. I didn't clock them both, but I clocked the one. Yeah.
You clocked Nicolessa. That's what matters. You got her ass.
It could also just be that she's the only gay one.
Oh yeah, she could be. I did clock her though.
Seems like church is going down for the night. It's not like super late. It seems like they'll prepare for bed pretty early. Probably like around 8-9 p.m.
I assume I have run out of invisibility at this point.
Yeah, it probably would have been a few hours ago. What has Shello been doing?
I followed that one girl.
As you watch her for the rest of your invisibility, she's like kind of storming around, walking heavily with a huff and puff. You see her walk by like a vase and push it over onto the ground, and it smashes.
Well, that's no good.
Probably not a good thing.
And then she goes into like a restroom and like slams the door shut and locks it, and that's probably about when your invisibility ends.
But that kind of
aggressive.
sucks.
That's not poggers of her.
No, not really. I suppose I will at that point I'll have headed back down to the main hall, and I'll be sitting on one of the pews kicking my feet.
Meeting up with Balthazar, who was also kicked out. And now all of you are reconvening in the main hall.
So I spoke to the two girls, and they're not involved in anything. They did tell me that things have been happening mostly at night, but recently it's been kind of whenever in the last few days or so. But it started out that everything only really happened at night. So I think, at least for tonight, maybe we should investigate.
A staking out, so to speak.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Did we want to take shifts and when we're doing it, or do we want to just all position at different locations?
I think it would probably be better to fan out, because I mean, you and Shello can use telepathy. And then, I mean, Pebble and I are essentially, I guess, brick houses.
That's offensive for Pebble.
Yeah, hey.
No.
Listen here, Buster.
Made it offensive. We can handle our own pretty well. So I think spreading out, because even though the town's not very big, it doesn't seem like there are big things happening. It seems more concentrated, so to speak.
I'm certainly feeling somewhat peckish. Perhaps I can begin my my stakeouts in the steakhouse of the butchery.
There's a grain windmill just not too far from the town center. I guess that's a good spot where I can get a bit of high ground at least.
I could probably wait outside the entrance to the church. I wouldn't look out of place there too if anyone saw me.
Make sure you're looking around and listening out, especially for anything going on in the church. I was kind of thinking, I mean, I only caught a glimpse of it while we were headed up to the church, but I was thinking I might check out the cemetery, and if everything looks fine, I might make my way down. You saw the fields behind the inn, right? As we walked by, I was thinking I might go down there if nothing happens in the cemetery, check out, see if there's anything going on in the field, and if not, make my way closer to the inn.
We can all reconvene near the inn. I was thinking of just spending a short amount of time at the butcher, and then going to the general store and buying rations.
Okay. Well, leaving the church, you notice that it's getting nighttime. The stores are closed.
Oh, well, in that case, forego any staking and just hang out around by like the well in the middle of the town.
Oh, okay. Can I have all you roll perception checks then?
Fucking that one.
Oh, I got
14 for Pebble.
14. Pebble
8
got a
for
14.
Shello, and nat 1 for Mherren.
So, Mherren, you said you were going to the cemetery, looping around like the side to the farmland.
Yeah.
You're not really seeing anything. You're kind of in a daze, maybe like deep in thought, too much thinking about all the possibilities of what could be happening and such, contemplating. It's kind of distracting you from what you're doing. So you're just kind of basically going on a stroll, thinking to yourself. Pebble, you're at the church, right?
Yes.
Looking out, you see a figure in the graveyard that you see Mherren. You see another person in the graveyard. Kind of walking around, Mherren completely oblivious to. They're not hiding or anything, but they just seem to be walking in a way where they're walking by like a mausoleum and like larger gravestones, or they're kind of like out of view of each other. You recognize the figure as a taller man.
It's the god.
You don't really get facial features, however.
Is he made of marble?
It's gonna be that guy who kept having his arms folded. A fucking guy.
You mean the guy who's the head of the church that you're a follower of?
No. Different guy.
You see him walking around, and after a while, he kind of disappears from your view as you see Mherren leave the graveyard at a gate and like strolling through down towards the town more. You don't necessarily see the other person leave the graveyard, but you just don't see him anymore down there as you watch. At some point, you also hear something kind of sounding like the side of the church. Very faint, but like it almost sounds like movement of some kind.
I guess I'll go and inspect it.
Going over there and looking, you see through the window and see like the room of like the nuns sleeping in their
I feel
beds.
creepy.
You don't see really a source for the noise. Mozzie, can you roll a stealth check for sneaking up this windmill?
What's name?
Get high ground.
11.
Okay. You're not too stealthy about it. Doesn't seem like, I mean, no one lives in the windmill or anything. It doesn't seem like anyone's there, but it is next to like a farm. That seems to have like a farmhouse. And you see like lantern light come on in the window. So you like kind of try to hide yourself. But now looking over the whole town, can you make a perception check?
An 8.
Perhaps the high ground isn't helping, as everything's like a little bit too far away. You don't really see anyone on the streets. Everyone's kind of inside, except for around the inn. There's some people outside over there that seem to be like staying there, showing up late in the night to try to get a room. Some people departing in the night. And you see all the way over at the guard tower, there's guards keeping watch in the forest. At one point in the night, you see them shoot an arrow down and like kill a wolf that was getting a bit too close for their comfort.
Poor guy.
Shello, on the floor of the town, you actually see someone outside their house. It's like 9-10 p.m. right now, and there's someone outside their house, the same guy you saw when you came into town. He's like trimming his hedges outside.
He's still trimming his hedges?
Looks like it.
This is the guy. This is the sinner. We found him.
Can I... He's sinning because he's keeping his lawn clean. Can I walk up to him and speak with him?
Yeah, he sees you come up and he's like, "Hello there, traveler."
Hello, I'm Shello, the amazing juggling ant boy.
That name sounds familiar. You put up a freak show?
Once upon a time, very much, yes.
Huh. Never seen it myself, but oh, that's great.
I must ask, good sir, you're doing quite a peculiar activity for so late in the day.
Oh yeah, I know, but I just gotta make sure the bushes are trimmed up nice. My house, you know.
Can I tell if he has made any difference to the bushes since when we arrived in town?
Make a investigation check.
Investigation. 16.
You notice very slight differences. You notice that the hedges are like perfectly rectangular and like square. And he's
That's
like
impressive.
he's getting up real close with like very tiny pairs of scissors and like snipping just like the very ends of the leaves of the magnifying glass.
I see you are truly a master of your craft.
Well, I know this might look strange to an out-of-towner, but every year the town has a competition where they grade the house's hedges on a scale of 1 to 10. You know, the church does this, you know, make sure everything, maintain a good look for the passersby coming through. You know, where a lot of people pass through this town.
I would assume so with how close you are to the trees.
The church decides on the scores. They give out of 10, and then they give an additional point for creativity, whatever that means. Some people make shapes with their hedges and such. Like I saw one person make like a wolf hedge. I got a point for creativity.
That sounds
I like
dangerous.
mine. I like mine being nice and proper. Yeah, I heard the guards shot one a little bit ago. Anyway. Every year, I always come in second because of my neighbor. He always has the nicest hedges. This time, I'm making sure I win by being out here every day, every night, carefully, very carefully sculpting the leaves. I'm not aiming for the creativity point, so hopefully I can get 10 stars this go around. Last year, my bush did 9/11.
I hate you. I really hate you. Like,
I see.
Wait, where did
How
the
are you
11
editing
come
that
from?
out?
Hold on,
There's
hold
no way
on.
you're keeping
Because
that
they
in.
get an extra
Hold on.
point for creativity.
Nah, there's no way.
Oh, okay.
I
Jesus fuck.
see. So your bush having performed to 9/11 standard.
That's just so
Last
dumb.
year you obviously you wish to heighten your score. Unfortunately, I cannot speak with you at length of bushes. I am on a very important task.
Well, you don't beat around the bush, do you?
Have you seen many weird, strange things happening in the town? Perhaps at night, perhaps at day, seeing as you yourself are out here night and day with your very small cutting implements.
Let me think. Make a persuasion check.
Perception?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. Cool, I got a nat 1.
I've been so focused on trimming my bush that I haven't noticed anything really.
You're doing
In
magnificent
fact, you're
job.
kind of distracting me. I need to head to the back, get the back bushes up, the back crack of my house.
You do what you need to, sir, with your bushes, your weeds, and your whacking.
Tips his hat to you and heads around to the back of the house.
I'll tip my antenna to him. I'll have maybe a look around the general store. Sorry, the traveler's shop as I pass.
It's closed. Oh, look.
No, I know, but I'll look around the building.
Make a perception check. Pebble, what are you doing on the way back? What is your sort of path through the town?
I don't know. I'd probably head to the well and then from there go to the inn because I don't think Pebble would be able to find her way without grounding
Come
herself.
straight through the middle then?
Yeah.
Okay. Shello, you see through the window of the shop is one of the clerks. For some reason, it doesn't seem like anyone else is in there, but one of the younger teenagers working there is going through this barrel of horns, and he's just taking them, and he picks one up, and he's like, "Stupid horn, I've always wanted to do this." He blows into it. It makes a very loud sound. It's muffled inside the building. You definitely hear it. Not sure how far it carries in the town. The rest of you don't really hear anything, but the Shello, it's pretty loud even though it's inside the building. Almost shakes the glass of the windows a bit, and he goes over to the register, opens it up, and starts pocketing some gold.
Oh.
He's like, "I wanted to do this since I started." And
He's real for that though.
he like goes out a back door and
I don't think
hurriedly
he's real for that.
goes
No,
to
I
his
haven't
house.
stolen, but I mean the temptation to, you know.
He seems to be hurriedly going through town, seemingly to his house.
Tempted to follow to see.
Yeah, make
where
a
his
stealth
house
check at
is.
advantage.
Okay. Under cover of darkness, a 2 and a 23.
Yeah, following behind him, keeping out of sight. He seems to live in like an apartment over here. And as he walks in, you see that there's 2 other people in there. Seems like his parents. He leaves the door open as he goes in, just carelessly. You hear his mom from within mention how he's acting strangely, and then close the door. Stern voice.
I could intrude on this person's home, kill them and their family because he stole. He's sinning.
That doesn't warrant killing him and his entire family. What?
What do you want to do with sinners then?
Not kill them and their entire I don't know. Like, I guess I didn't think that
kind of
far
weird.
ahead.
Shell's just told to
Yeah.
take care of the problem.
I suppose so.
What are you doing, Shell?
What a guy.
I'll just take note of whereabouts he is, where he lives, and I'm waiting at the well for everyone else, or until I see other people.
Mherren, you're kind of going through the wheat field right now. With your natural one, you're a bit lost in there. You kind of don't. You're like in a corn maze. Balthazar, you're looking down at this, seeing Mherren wandering around in there. Can I have also you make charisma saving throws?
Oh.
Yay!
Shit, I got 13.
Fucking finally, nat 20
Holy shit.
or 23.
You both see this like red blur within the wheat.
Oh,
Oh shit. Oh shit.
But it kind of disappears after a
Shello?
moment.
Oh, it's the Baba Yaga.
The what?
Guess
The
who's
Baba
in
Yaga,
the
right?
wheat field?
It's a good thing that
And
you're not
also
lost in the wheat field.
Mherren.
Wait, maybe we can call it out like a cat, like a. Pss,
That's the stupidest thing you've ever said.
pss.
There's not even much I can do here. So, I guess Mherren's just gonna sort of try and follow after,
Uh-huh.
to the best of her ability.
Balthazar's unsure if Mherren would have seen what he just saw. He's just gonna like call out to like Mherren and just be like, just through telepathy.
Mherren, there is something in there with you.
I know she can't respond,
Obviously,
but-
it's not visible, but Mherren rolls her eyes and keeps following to the best of her ability, like where she saw it happen. Because you said it disappeared, right? After
Yeah.
a second.
Make a survival check.
See how well you can survive.
24.
24.
I will inform Shello.
Shello, there's something in the wheat field. Mherren's down there, but she may need some backup.
At this point, Shello, you see Pebble walking past you.
Hello, rock lady.
Hi. What's up?
I have received word from the keeper of the teeth and other such that there is mischief afoot in the maize field.
What?
Never mind, it is not maize, it is wheat.
Oh, the wheat.
I'm hearing now from
what do
my
you mean,
reporter on the field. It is wheat.
What do you mean, mischief?
Some form of something going down, and Mherren is there and may need help.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Unless you intend to catch some shut eye.
No. Not if Mherren's in trouble. She starts running towards the field.
Yeah, Shello will walk over.
I told, as I send that message to Shello, I will get down from the mill and head towards the wheat field.
Shello, Pebble, can you both make charisma saving throws?
Sure can.
Sure. 20. Dirty 20.
15.
Mherren, you follow like rustling of the wheat. Eventually it stops and you are you trying to be stealthy at all as you track it, or you're just like going for it?
I think Mherren's just gonna go for it.
Quickly part the wheat and you see a small red creature. Red skin. It's like nude. And it has red, like, bat-like wings, horns on its head, a tail. It's almost like a scorpion tail. And it's kind of hunched over, carrying something. And then it hears you approach and snaps its head around, like hisses at you, and then quickly tries to fly into the air away from you.
Swat it.
No, I'm not gonna swat it.
Mherren, fly towards it.
It might be a sinner.
Fly after
Or
it.
its
Hurry.
family.
No, I can't.
Spike that motherfucker
fly.
like a volleyball.
My wings don't work. Mherren's gonna try and grab it by its foot and tail. Like but not like at the stinger, but just below it so that it can't sting her.
Make a dexterity check.
Fucking 6.
You try to grab for it, and it flaps its wings like right in your face and kind of knocks you back a little, and then starts flying into the air and in the sky.
Do any of us see it?
Yeah, you all kind of see a small red thing flapping its wings, flying, looking like it's going towards the church.
Oh.
Those of you not in the wheat field, so Balthazar, Shello, Pebble, not quite there yet as you see this flying in the sky. Can you make a perception check?
Yes.
I
Okay.
was gonna say, so literally everyone
Yeah.
except Mherren.
I said that and then I was
18.
like,
I got a
who's not in the
9.
wheat field?
Yeah.
I got a 2.
Yeah.
Only
Very
Shello sees this. You see someone in kind of black clothing at the edge of the wheat field, kind of by that hut off to the right. Seems to be like shed, kind of decking behind it, kind of watching. They're in like this black clothing. They seem smaller, seems like a female figure. And as it sees the imp flying towards the church, it also takes that as a opportunity to run away, like into the darkness, also in the direction of the church.
I'm unsure if you are lost in your maze of wheat, but the rest of us are standing outside of the wheat field, and awaiting your arrival.
You all have lost sight of these two things that
Yeah,
ran away. You're all just going back to the inn now.
I'll just say that I saw the, and then the.
You're all just a little bit defeated. Head back to the inn.
The light's very flickery.
I'm suspicious.
I do kind of want to look out the window again.
Make a perception check.
Perception. 12.
And don't really see anything, just kind of farmland. You're looking at it suspiciously, but there's nothing else there you can see.
Demons in here?
I'm really mean mugging the.
How are you guys splitting up the rooms to go to sleep for the night?
I assume me and Mherren.
I think it's pretty
Balthazar, and
obvious.
Shello.
Yeah.
Well,
I
who's on which
assume
side?
me and Pebble.
I think Mherren would rather.
Mherren and
kill
Balthazar are
herself than-
not sharing a room right now.
Yeah.
Trying to force Shelly notices like the fucking. Like,
It's just putting it all together now. Kiss.
Whoa.
I would not.
I
do
don't
that.
mean it like that. I mean like that's the energy.
hey, it's on record that you're the one who said it.
Balthazar, Shello on the left side, Pebble and Mherren on the right side. You all ready for bed for the night? Anyone doing anything before you all go down for rest?
Closing the door, and I'm gonna stand in this corner, or I guess against this wall.
Perfect.
I will learn a scroll.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm
Careful.
gonna learn the knock scroll.
Okay, make an Arcana check.
No worries. 23.
100 gold then. Takes 4 hours of your night.
Yeah.
So you're probably gonna have a late start in the morning. But you do successfully learn it with that Arcana check.
I feel like I could watch it in the room, or I could watch out here. But I feel like there's too many angles.
Where are you watching then?
I don't know. There's so
You just,
many choices.
You could
there's
just
an armchair
generally
here. It looks pretty comfy.
stroll around the apartment, keeping an eye on things over the course of the night.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Okay, make a perception check.
5.
Okay, make an intelligence check.
16. I'm very smart.
Well, you're not really noticing anything. It's quiet. Seems like there's a few rooms in the inn that are a little bit loud, and not loud, but you hear commotion and movement and such in other rooms during the course of the night. Nothing really standing out except for a few of the arrows that have been shot into the globe in the boys' room, the broken wine glass on the floor in the kitchen, the smashed pot in the bathroom. Just a few things that stand out to you as being different from the last time you were here.
That's fair.
Well, surely those things aren't important.
And with a mystery ahead of you all after one day of investigating, there's surely more, as you have noticed a strange creature within the town. We'll end the session there.
We leveled up? Oh my
Nice
god.
session, guys. That was a fast level up.
Can't believe we leveled up.
Incredible.